Okay, I'm filming this right after I just finished my previous video, and this will continue my Wrestlemania themed videos. Now I did a video about a month ago, something like that, and it was entitled "What's Better, WrestleMania 17 or 19?" Now I was going to make that a video series, so I thought I would do another installment of it, but this time it'll be what's the worst WrestleMania of all time, and the contenders are WrestleMania 9, 11 or 13. Now getting to WrestleMania 9, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the worst WrestleMania of all time. In fact, the only reason I included this one is... Oh, just got a message. Is because lots of people consider it the worst of all time, and I don't think it comes close, quite honestly. The first hour of the show is actually really, really good. You had Shawn Michaels vs. Tatanka, which was a good opener, and then what'd you have next? I can't remember the order of the card. I remember it being a good match, and I just can't remember who was involved. But yeah. So the first hour of the show was really good. The bad part about this show, and why it is considered to be one of the worst manias of all time, is the ending, which I completely understand why people would hate it. I personally think it's the worst WrestleMania ending of all time, perhaps the worst ending to a pay-per-view of all time. Yeah, and then apart from that, there was also that, and then we got Undertaker vs. the Giant Gonzalez, which is horrendous. It's easily one of the worst matches of Taker's career. But yeah, that was horrible, and then the ending was the biggest load of political bullshit ever. Firstly, I'll talk about the match, Bret Hart vs. Yokozuna. The match it wasn't anything special, but it was okay, and the ending to it has become quite iconic with Mr. Fuji throwing salt in Bret Hart's face. So that was all fine, but then of all people, Hulk fucking Hogan comes out, and did he actually earn a title shot, or did he just get it given to him for no apparent reason? Because I can't remember. It was way too long ago I wasn't even born then, but I've seen it and I can't remember it. But yeah, it was just, I can't fucking believe it. Hulk Hogan has to be the biggest whiny little bitch on the entire planet, because if you don't know, he pretty much threatened to leave the company if he didn't win the title here. I mean, you think John Cena's bad? I mean, at least he'll take a loss. At least he won't threaten the company if he doesn't have it his way. But Hulk Hogan, this stupid motherfucker. I mean, my God, it's I'm lost for words. It happened 21 years ago. I still can't believe it. Yeah, like I said, it's the biggest load of political bullshit you'll ever. Hopefully, we never see anything like that again, because it was unbelievable. But yeah, Hulk Hogan, you should be ashamed of yourself for what you pulled off there. It was just ridiculous. But getting to WrestleMania 11, wow, this show was a total bomb. The whole year of 1995 in WWF was a crock of shit to the absolute max. That's when they went with their cartoonish route, and you think the PG era is bad. I've seen some of this stuff that they did. It was absolutely horrendous. But getting to this card, there is nothing on here that is worth talking about. Like, what do we have? Undertaker vs King Kong Bundy. That was a shit match. The main event, Lawrence Taylor vs Bam Bam Bigelow, which wasn't horrible, but for a main event, it's not good enough. But it was cool to see Lawrence Taylor actually wrestle, but whatever. The match was mediocre, and then probably the best part of this show was Shawn Michaels versus Diesel, and even this match was meh. It was going along fine until they fucked up the last few minutes. There was an exposed turnbuckle and Diesel did a slingshot and completely miscalculated it, and Michaels ended up hitting the an unexposed turnbuckle instead of the exposed one. And then the ending came with the jackknife, which is one of the worst jackknives I've ever seen. Shawn Michaels pretty much landed on his feet. It was pretty bad, and it didn't look good, and and as a result, we got Diesel continued his year-long boring title reign that everyone absolutely hated. Diesel, I've never really liked him. There are times where he was pretty good. He's stuff with the NWO, obviously, but him as a babyface is fuck. It's comparable to Del Rio and how boring it is. It was that bad, but yeah, this WrestleMania as a whole is horrible. Everything about this show was shit. The card was shit, the matches were shit, the arena was shit. That has to be the worst looking WrestleMania of all time, and just everything about this WrestleMania was bad. A lot of people say it's the worst Mania of all time. I won't say what I think until the end of the video, but I don't blame them for saying that. Then we get to WrestleMania 13, which oddly enough doesn't really get mentioned all that much. I'm guessing the reason for that is because it has one of the greatest matches of all time, and Stone Cold Steve Austin vs Bret Hart. But apart from that, this show is horrible. I mean, we got Triple H versus Goldust, which on paper it sounds like it would be a good match, but it wasn't. It was horrible, and the main event, my god, this has to be one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. This match was horrible. You can't really blame the wrestlers because Shawn Michaels lost his smile. Yeah, not too sure about that, but whatever. So they pretty much just made this up on the spot, and it wasn't good. It was like I said, I don't blame the wrestlers, but this was pretty bad. But getting back to Stone Cold versus Bret, like I said, it's one of the greatest matches of all time. I think I listed it as number 2 as on my top 50 greatest matches of all time list, which it deserves because this match is outstanding, and the iconic image of Steve Austin refusing to give up in the sharpshooter will live on forever in WWE history. And quite honestly, if that match didn't happen, this WrestleMania would easily be the worst of all time. If the only thing that the next thing under Steve Austin vs. Brett would probably be the Chicago Street Fight, but even that wasn't anything special. It was pretty sloppy and stuff. So if that submission match didn't happen, I'm telling you, this wouldn't be the worst WrestleMania of all time. This would be like the worst pay-per-view of all time. Even worse than December to Dismember. I know it's fucking horrendous. But yeah, so if I had to pick one out of those three, like I said, WrestleMania 9, yeah, it's a pretty shit show, but like I said, I already eliminated that because it's not even anywhere near as bad as the other two. But between those two, I'm going to say that WrestleMania 11 is the worst of all time. Like I said, if the submission match didn't happen at 13, that would be the worst one of all time. But because of that match, it essentially saved. It was so good that it saved the show from being the worst of all time. But yeah, like I said, WrestleMania 11 had nothing. I forgot to mention, speaking of submission matches, the one between Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. Oh my god. Wow, that was absolutely horrible. Perhaps the biggest bomb of WrestleMania history. I mean, even Bret Hart said it was the worst match of his career. I think he said, no, not the worst match of his, the worst pay-per-view match of his career. I think he said, but this was absolutely awful. Especially considering the talent of both the guys. They should have had match of the night, but it didn't turn out that way, and their match was absolutely horrible. This WrestleMania as a whole is horrible, which is why I consider it to be the worst WrestleMania of all time. I hope nothing comes close to this, because this was... If anything is as bad as this, I won't want to be around for it, because it'll have to be extremely bad to even come close to this. But yeah, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll do another one today. I might later. Just depends if I can be bothered. Like, yeah, I don't know. You might see another video. If you don't, you'll see one tomorrow. So yeah, later everybody.